What's up, everyone? Tera Roberts here with Fantasy Alarm, and we are talking free agency deep cuts for Week 5. My deep quarterback of the week is Geno Smith. Geno Smith is quietly sitting at QB9 on the season. It's wild, but true. Aside from one rough game against San Francisco, Geno has had a minimum of 17 fantasy points per game. To be fair, two of those games have come against terrible defenses in Atlanta and Detroit, but we do have to give Geno props for the way he's performing. This week's matchup against New Orleans is tougher than he's faced in the past 2 weeks, but if waivers are bare, Geno can get you by. I wouldn't expect another 30-point performance, but with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, anything is possible. At running back, we are going deep this week. Guys like Isaiah Pacheco and Mike Boone are solid adds, but their roster percentages have jumped over 30% this week. So who can we grab that is 10% rostered or lower? I feel like I would be remiss not to include Caleb Huntley, who literally came off practice squad to have 10 carries for 56 yards and a touchdown. That's solid work. This is brand new territory for Huntley. Despite being a second-year back, he had no usage in 2021. Tyler Algier was the priority add on waivers this week, but if you weren't able to grab him, you can add Huntley. The Falcons want to push more volume on the ground. They've had little success through the air, and Marcus Mariota's highest volume game was 229 yards against Seattle, a team that Jared Goff just casually dropped nearly 400 yards on. Any running back in the Falcons offense is worth an add in deep leagues. Speaking of Falcons running backs, Damien Williams should be coming off IR soon and will have the opportunity to assume the lead back role with Cordero Patterson on IR. Ultimately, I do think that Tyler Algier will come out on top. When young talent gets the opportunity to showcase, it often wins out. But in deep leagues, it's worth a shot to see if the trusted veteran can assume a usable workload when he returns. For wide receivers, I am giving you 3 guys less than 10% rostered. My favorite virtually unrostered receiver this week is Khalil Shakir. Jamison Crowder is done for the year with a broken ankle. Isaiah McKenzie is in concussion protocol. Maybe fantasy managers are waiting on confirmation that McKenzie will be out before making any move, but Shakir is in line for a big bump in opportunities in the slot. And while he's extremely green, we know that he's a dynamic player that can excel in the slot. After playing not a single snap in Week 3, he caught both of his targets in Week 4. This is not a guarantee by any means, but it's worth a shot in deep leagues to plug him in as a low-end flex option if McKenzie is out. Now, I don't really have faith that Wan'Dale Robinson will play this week. It sounds like he wasn't even close to coming back last week, so this isn't a plug-in for this week. Robinson is a long-term play. Robinson is young, quick, and can be used creatively to scheme up productions that the Giants desperately need. The Giants receiving core had a total of 3 receptions in Week 4. Someone has to step up, and my assumption is that the person who steps up is someone who is not currently playing. Tony is certainly worth a shot, but he is the higher roster player, so if you can't grab him, grab Robinson. Alec Pierce is quietly asserting himself as the wide receiver 2 in the Colts offense. The Colts would like to operate as a run-first team, but with Jonathan Taylor injured, and given the struggles they've had on the ground this season, the Colts may have to rely on their pass game. Pierce was the most productive receiver last week, catching 4 of his 6 targets for 80 yards. Nyheim Hines has been the Colts' second leading target recipient behind Michael Pittman Jr. But with Hines as the lead back, increased targets could go the way of Pierce. At tight end, someone who has interesting long-term value is Logan Thomas. Thomas has been underwhelming this year, but we have to remember he's coming off a major injury. It will take time for him to get back to his previous usage, seeing 100% of snaps. And he seems to be making positive progress. What could help push him along is the potential absence of Jahan Dotson, who is dealing with a hamstring injury. More touchdown opportunities could open up for him. Thanks for watching this video. Remember to subscribe to Fantasy Alarm and come back next week for another round of deep waiver wire ads.